Good Saturday morning, everybody. 11 o'clock, something like that. Over here at the hideout today. Got out of the car and this here particular wild edible caught my nose sharply. Honeysuckle. And we've got another one right in here with it. I believe that would be blackberry. All growing in harmony right there. Kind of nice, ain't it? What do you say we head off over in that direction to the hideout? Get back to you guys in a minute. Thanks for joining me. Thought I'd come in down by the waterfront. We've had a lot of rain still around here, folks, and I'm sure you guys have too. Anywhere in the Midwest. Thought I'd come in along the shorefront. Just down the path, just a little ways. 20 yards or so from where I normally come in. You got to remember to take your thumb off the button when you're recording. This is just about what I expected. Maybe a little more. I don't know exactly how much rain we've had. Pretty good little dab. Enough that it's caught all the low spots. More frog opportunities, huh? A little bit overcast today. Not gonna spend the night. I doubt if I'll even have a fire. But I did want to come over and hang out. Talk for a few minutes. I brought my new tarp with me. Might have to spread that out and see what it looks like. Not supposed to rain today, but right now it looks like it could tune up at any moment. Last time I showed you guys the hideout from a distance. Oh, nice fern. Couple of them. Don't know that you can eat them. Several things right out here you can. But I showed you guys a long shot back towards the hideout. Yeah. Today I'll show you a short shot back up toward the hideout. Even though it's in the mid-50s today, it's still just a little bit cool. We've been having weather come at us out of the northwest. Still got a little bit of a north wind today. Sweatshirt feels good. Not necessarily required though. May have to get rid of it after a while. I've got a couple of things I want to do today just to show you guys. And yeah, I've been working on a TeePee. I brought what I got so far with me today. And I'm going to attempt to set it up and make my final marks. I've got a couple of extra things I want to do to this one that I really haven't seen anybody else do yet. Not that I'm trying to be totally original, but I think it'll help the TeePee ambiance all together, you know what I mean? So while I'm thinking about it, I think I got it in here. No, here it is. I didn't use the traditional. I went with a modified pattern, and I'm not going to go into any of the details of cutting it because Lonnie from Far Northwest Bushcrafters, excuse me there, he done a real good video on this. So I cut out a shape like this. Hopefully it's going to come out to something that's about 12 foot in diameter at the bottom and close to 8 feet to the very center. Stick around, folks. We'll see what she looks like. Meantime, I'm going to sit here for a minute and enjoy the birds. Still smell that honeysuckle over here. It's right there in the tree. I believe that's going to be a pretty good sight. TeePee wise. First thing we gotta have is me quit tripping over everything. I'm gonna stand this one up tripod style. So I got one volunteer right here, and I'll probably use that volunteer right there. And if you guys were with me in the last video, this one over here decided to come down with the wind. And there's probably close to 25 running feet of usable stick right there. So I've got my tripod set up. And I don't think I've given enough credit to this little saw. I know it's not a whole lot, eBay special, but everything for the lean-to and what I've cut up around here, mostly deadfall, and like that one the other day, about half green, but it fell anyway. They've all been cut with this little saw. So I can't really fault it. You got to take your time, but it works. Right now, let me drag those other two up here and let's get to cutting. Now that I have my 3 equal length, not so much. Yeah, that one that was tied to the tree was just a little bit longer, and you know I'm gonna leave it that way. Let me get to binding these together whilst I enjoy them birds singing again. Oh yeah, so far no bug bites and no ticks today. I am using cinnamon oil. Excuse me, said that wrong. Let's go with peppermint oil and a little bit of what was that stuff again? Not permethrin. That's made out of chrysanthemums, I know. Oh yeah, citronella. Just put that together in a typical whipping fashion. Tie it off to one and then whip the other two to that one. Now let's get over here and partially stand it up. Get the tarp out. Brought green tea with me today, fellas. If for some reason or other this doesn't work out, you're going to see it strung up for the first time just like I am, so I'll go ahead and show it to you anyway. Hang in there. This being my first time to set up a TeePee, I've discovered there's way more than one way. That one will almost double wrap itself. It'll make a really good wintertime shelter. Still got the silver on the inside. I don't know how much that actually reflects, but oh, pretty cool. I'll see, I'm not going to wind up with my total center height that I wanted, but let's see if we can get a little bigger diameter out of this. Well, I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but I think what I got will do. I wanted to set it up. I really don't have a place in the house to set it up where I can get out and do this, so I wanted to bring it over here, someplace up on the top up here. I'm going to put a vent. The mosquito net stuff you saw that I used over there on the hobo shack, I'm going to use that same stuff, so we'll have ventilation at the top and somewhere around the bottom another vent. You know, not too long, just a couple inches wide, just to let a little draft come in. It might turn into a hot TeePee this coming winter. Hard to say. That's right at 7 foot in the center there. Just a little under 7 foot. And I haven't drawn it tight. And I'm still working on the door situation. Got a good overlap. That's one thing that I was going for. Give up a little bit of diameter for a good overlap without having to do any tape job. Just let it be all one piece for the overlap. I got a mark, put a couple more grommets in it, but outside of that, it's looking pretty good. I'll go over here and open it up and show you guys what it looks like on the inside. Temperature jumped pretty good. You see I had to get rid of that sweatshirt. Oh, look at that beautiful sunshine coming through the trees. Huh, anyway, traditional style. Like I said, I didn't want to do any taping on the outside if I didn't have to. Leave it just one skin. And I think this is going to work. It should. Got to put in a couple more grommets. And I've got it tacked right here at the front right now, but you can see the overlap excess I've got there. Not too bad, huh? You draw it together like that, pull one on the inside and one over the outside, stake her down. Well, actually, you got to put the outside one down first, but not too bad. Let me pull that other pin out down there and open it up. I think I could probably get just a little less diameter there with just a little bit more height. I kind of settled it in there. Now that's just about 6.5 feet actually. Now I could stretch it on up a little tighter. Probably will here in a few minutes, but this is the first stretch, you know, so I don't want to get too carried away. Like most of the rest of them about this size, you know, plenty of room in there for a couple people and a little wood stove. And with this one, no pole in the middle, makes it so that you got all kinds of room here without having to worry about fighting a stick. Plenty of room for two or three without a wood stove. I'm kind of thinking about the wood stove. Now what I got to think about is how to make a screen door. Yeah. He said up here in the top somewhere we'll have a vent. And I'm kind of thinking, trying not to move around too fast here, right back there on the back side of it when I finally get it all stretched out nice and tight. Just gonna play that by ear, but I didn't want to do this with it all folded up on the living room floor. Before I fold this over here and make the final tape, in case any of you guys are interested, this tarp weighs about 3 pounds and 9 ounces. Got a piece of 550 doubled over, knotted through, and on this side, I hope maybe it'll focus in, you know, whether it is or not. Anyway, I got a washer there and just a couple of figure eights in the line behind it, which give me a nice string to hang down inside to hang stuff off of. And that's a couple layers of Gorilla tape on this side and a couple layers on the outside taped around, and we'll get through with it there, it'll have a couple more layers on it. And when I bring it back to do the final setup, to leave it over here, I'll have all the strings there covered in beeswax, so we won't have no issue, and the ones on the tripod thing too. Yeah, didn't turn out too bad, huh? Done just a little more taping on the top. I kind of hate to take it down. Got a double overlap with the doors. That looks like it'll work out pretty nice. I'm going to take a marker and mark off my vents. But I was just noticing here, I stopped and got a drink. Had quite a little compound going. Got the hammock range there and hobo shack over there. I think Smoke was wanting something maybe a little bigger than that. But I really think that's pretty good. I don't know about you guys. A little over 6.5 foot center. You know, that went up pretty easy. Not bad. It really wouldn't be all that bad if a couple people were going hiking to actually take that thing on the trail. I mean, it is 3 pounds, and I know there's a lot of gram weenies out there that would just freak out at that, but I don't think it's too bad, especially if you're not going over a couple, 3 or 4 miles in and out. I think it would work, and it's a lot of shelter, good shelter too. I get through putting vents in it, it'll be an even better shelter, I think. So I had me a little oatmeal pie and a drink of tea. I think it's time to take a walk over to the water hole and swap out the cards in the trail camera. See if we caught anything this week. And come back. I hate to take it down. It went up so good. Kind of want to leave it. But if I don't put the vents in it, I think we'll have moisture problems on the inside with it staying up all the time. And it being brown here in the summer. We do got a lot of shade this year, you know. Not very bright today at all anyway, but let's take a walk over to the watering hole. I guess this will be a good test for the spray stuff, won't it? Headed off down into the jungle. Just about knee deep. Last year it got about waist high, especially down here where the moisture hangs out. I'll come back to you on the hill over there. You guys can kind of see where I'm at. I'm trying to be a little quiet. I have already been spotted. 6 does. Just ran right off up that way. And I saw antlers. I couldn't tell how many. Just snorted at me from right over here. Let's see if we can get another snort out of it. I'll step back behind them trees. I didn't hear him take off. And I don't think those does went very far. He was right up here on this ridge. Yeah, what ridge there is. I guess he took off. I was hoping to get him to snort at me again. Oh well. Oh, there they are right there. I don't know if I can zoom in without being so shaky, guys. And I've been spotted again. Oh, off they went. I caught the last one standing over there evidently. On up the hill. Any of that stuff look edible? Said it a couple of times before, I'm not a mushroom kind of guy. I don't know whether this thing would be edible or not. You? Have no idea what kind it is. Looks like the critters leave it alone too, which that's not always a good indicator. Starting to get a few mosquitoes. I must be getting near the watering hole. I think right over there. The watering hole runneth over. Like I said, we've had a lot of rain. And step over there and get the card out of that camera. See if we caught anything this time. And I'm going to put out some more deer treats. Spread around a few chunks of apple. Just to give them a little nibble. Thinking about moving the camera. Not sure where just yet. Every time you look over that direction, it gets a little thicker, doesn't it? Pretty soon I'm going to have to bring a machete with me. Actually, if the deer will keep going through there, I don't know if you can see it. See the little path they've got. That's how I got here. Those deer were just a little ways out there in front of me on the way over. And they were headed that way. Up through the pines. Well, pines, I think there's like 4 pine trees on this property. Those are cedars. Western red, I think. Kind of debating on whether to put the trail camera over here or not. Lots of locusts. I don't know. Get over here and look and see what their little trails look like. I think you guys can see the path. They've been through here a time or two. They get right here, it's the Alpha camp. They get right here, you can see where they've been kind of milling about. Very few hoof prints. Ground's pretty solid over here. Oh man, he was standing right there. Watched me walk right up. That's the little buck that snorted on me on the way over here, trying to catch up with the harem. Oh, there's no way I could catch up with him today. He's gone. So, with that in mind, I was going to say they're headed off. I can see their little trail. And I don't know if it's very visible on this. Right over there. And he was just down below it over there. And I've been here for a minute. Anyway, I think I'm going to pick one of those little trees up there. A little ash right there looks like a good prospect. We'll put out a few deer treats and look at that view for a day or two. Yeah. When I come over this week, I'm going to move it over here. Alright. Let's see what else I can stir up on the way back. Looks like I've come to a junction here. Sometimes they go off that way. Sometimes they go off that way. And right now, I'm going to head out down that way. Just kind of walking around kind of the long way back. You know, I haven't been pestered with mosquitoes. Not sure whether that stuff works or not. Peppermint oil and citronella. I don't know why I couldn't say that earlier. You see the hobo shack? And center screen. Knew that brown was going to stick out. We'll do a little camouflage on it. It'll be alright. Oh, what a nice day. Just the right amount of breeze. I'm going to say low 70s right now. It's supposed to get up to 78, but if that sun don't come out, that ain't going to happen. These little yellers have been beat down. And I want somebody to tell me if I can get a good enough picture. It'll focus. Come on, focus. There you go. They're kind of beat up from the rain. And here you can see the leaf. Is that white mustard? You turn over a leaf or two while you're walking through the woods. Yeah, there's no telling what you'll find. I know a lot of you guys know what them little berries are. A little bitter to me. Came at the right time. Not too bad. Made my marks for my overlap there. I know where it goes to. That's going to be a nice winter location. If you don't mind being on the ground, and I don't, but it's just getting more difficult for me to get up and down all the time. The hammock's definitely a plus in the campsite for a couple of reasons. Good place to sleep, nice place to sit. And I've been trying to get this cardinal, oh, and he moves again. Been trying to get this cardinal all day. Can you see him there? Little red spot. Oh, there he goes. Anyway, I'm right at the about 12-foot diameter at the bottom. It's kind of what we were shooting for. I think the tripod's gonna change spots just a little bit. May cut them off some. But I put that one intentionally sticking out up over the door because I got enough material left out of this tarp. When we get it set up where it's gonna be, I'm gonna make a little front porch for it. I don't think that'll stay here all the time because it'd probably blow off. And the other thing too, since it is going to be here all the time, I went on 3-foot centers. And I'm going to go ahead, since I got enough material left, to go ahead and put one halfway in between each one. I didn't really find it necessary to put the Gorilla Tape on both sides. I think on the inside it gave it a bit of rigidity. Boy, couldn't hardly say that one. And use the same method Lonnie did there on the grommet spots. It's going to move some. It's going to get warm. And I can already see, just being up right now, it's stretched out a bit. You see one of my marks up there. I'm going to put one vent at the top for now and one down there at the bottom in the back, 180 out from the door. Maybe that'll be enough. If it's not, I can always add some more. First things first, I'm going to come over here and spend the night there. That really only took a couple of minutes. £3 pounds 9 ounces on my scale. I'm going to say that you could make up a set of 4 fiberglass rods to stand the center of that thing. Be plenty, I think. I think I like the tripod method best because you ain't got nothing in the middle. Of course, I did fix that one to where it can be propped up on the inside. It's plenty thick, capped over. And when I get through doing the final seam there at the top, so I got my overlap right, it should be waterproof and be able to be held up with a stick or a tripod. Sling it from a tree. Yeah, pretty easy. A couple more times setting it up and I'll have it down, and then I'll leave it setting up over here for 6 months. I do want to check that out this winter though, you know. I like my tarp set up where I got the wood stove in it. There was a couple of pieces I didn't get to use this year, you know. I never broke the trapper shack out, 10 by 10. And I haven't done a camp in my small 2-man. North-South Trail 222. That video, I think I had it up there. I didn't sleep in it, but I set it up to stretch it out and let it sun a little bit. I think this will work out pretty good. Got my new tarp. Looking forward to checking it out some more for sure. You know what? Got it in the bag. I think I'm going to set up a different configuration here on the ground like I was thinking about there. And might even run a ridge line, do a pull or two. Stick around, we'll see. Sunshine. one of the cardinals is nesting right up there. For whatever reason, in my box, I didn't get the extra little bag and the nice little package of stuff. I did get the line clamps, or whatever you want to call those little plastic things. I did want to show you that decent bag, free soldier, and there is enough room that I have 30 feet for ridge line. That's 550 cord. And I also got 4 other small lines that came with another tent, 4 stakes, 2 pieces of, I think they're 3-foot bungee with hooks on the end of them. They stretch out about twice their length. But they all fit in the bag. You know, it's not bad. Same material as your tarp. Should be waterproof. Water resistant. Not a bad pitch there. Takes 6 stakes. Easy enough to whittle out. 1 pull out. You can do without that, I suppose. If you got another trekking pole or short stick, put it on the inside. Just tuck everything around. That wouldn't be too bad, huh? Plenty of room in there. Lots of room. I'm saying 2 people could get in there with your gear. It'd be kind of cozy. And I believe it's deep enough that you could pull that front right there together and get a pretty decent closed front end with the right height, ridgeline of course. I think they call that a diamond configuration. Plow, diamond, kind of same. 1 pull out to the tree. Really all you need is 3 stakes. And of course I'm using my already here line to tie off to for the point. A lot of room for a day shelter. Have plenty of room for a couple folks to spend the night with gear. As you can pull this front down some, I've just kind of got it exaggerated a little bit. Hit the next tie out point there in front. Bring yourself lower to the ground, but still have plenty of pretty good headroom, sounds like. One of the questions I had when I first started looking at this tarp and looking at other tarps, you know, I'm not going to go into naming names, you guys have probably already looked at them. I was curious as to how the diamond shape would come out. Exactly how much room is that going to give me by the time I string up my hammock? I slung just a little bit lower to the ground than I usually do, but I wanted it kind of wide. And I think that bucket sitting there is just below knee high on me, and that's actually about where the bottom of my hammock usually comes to. Maybe a little bit lower than that. So the reason I was so much in question, everybody, was I have an 11-foot hammock, and I was wondering if it would go under there and be covered quite well, and I believe it will. I don't know the diagonal measurement there, but it is pretty good. You know, it's not that 16, well, you know, 14 foot. Plenty long, plenty long. And I can pull this front edge up. If it weren't raining, get a hold of that front edge and pull it up and have a big open canopy here. But even slung that low to the ground, and I say that low, that's chin high on me. And if you guys hear something rumbling in the background, that's not thunder. I just had a C-130 come over the top of me here. I kind of like that. I believe that'll work quite well. Pull 1 stake and put a little short line on up there to my quickie ridge line. Nice and open. Just what the summer calls for this year, I think. Of course, it wouldn't make me mad if it stayed like today. I think it's finally got up to maybe above 75. 2 o'clock, give or take. Can't stop folks out in the country from shooting guns. That's okay. Know where he's at, know what direction he's shooting in. We're good. I think that first setup with the TeePee was pretty much a success. Wasn't hardly as big as I wanted. Lacked a little bit in height inside, but overall good piece. And you know, to take it down and roll it up doesn't take any longer than it does to take down your hammock tarp. 3-4 minutes, you know, stowed and go. Now the free Soldier Tarp, I will say one thing about it. It's a bit of a pain to get back in the bag once you get it out. But that's a good thing, I think. When you're rolling it up, it holds air pockets really well. And the inside of the stuff sack is also coated. So when you go to put it in the stuff sack, it's just a little bit difficult. It goes in, but it's a little bit hard. So far, I'm still liking it. I hope you guys like the setups I've done. Been a nice day over here at the hideout, just to hang out. Nobody around but me today. Sometimes I like it like that. Didn't get but 8 shots on the trail cam. I'll post them on there anyway. A couple of cute little deer and another kitty cat. So, a lot of stray cats running around this part of the country. Thought I heard those deer right back off down there. May have. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you stayed with me here till the end. Good day overall. Gonna come out camping as soon as I can. As soon as I can make arrangements to get out for a couple nights, I'm surely gonna do that. Could always use more green time. You guys know how that is, I'm sure. I'm gonna call it a good day right here, folks. Thanks for watching. Till next time, just waiting for the next big adventure.